busy time to be a forecaster.
Now you're looking at extra time, overtime, compensatory time, limiting weekends and things like that. That's where we've been.
Right now, there are 7 meteorologists out of the Brownsville National Weather Service office. It's only half the amount they would want. Meteorologist Barry Goldsmith says it shouldn't have an impact on major severe weather events, but he does say they aren't as flexible for minor ones, like surveying the hailstorm last week in Rio Hondo.
Left of their own, nobody came around to see what, happened after the storm.
Goldsmith says they had to rely on photos from folks like Santana to gauge how bad the storm was.
And I couldn't leave the desk abandoned because I had functions to do, and a survey tends to take, even a short survey like Harlan's and Rio Hondo, would take about 6 hours if need.
The reason they can't be as flexible can be linked to the regulations. As it stands, 2 forecasters must be at a NWS site at all times.
There was always a need when we opened the new offices back in the 90s with the new radars to have 24/7 coverage. And back in the day, we needed 2 people. I mean, there were multiple forecast tasks to do. The models were only few and far between. We didn't really have internet, and if we did, it was very slow and not great. Social media didn't exist.
Goldsmith says change is on the way. A new system called Operations and Workforce Analysis recognizes that technology today is leagues better than in the past. This means 2 meteorologists won't have to be tied down at the office at a time.
Instead of having 2 people dedicated for the 7-day forecast, we may only have 1 person dedicated to all 7 days, and they'll concentrate on the first 36 to 48 hours where it matters most, because the rest of the time will be pretty well forecast.
Goldsmith hopes this new procedure will relieve some stress. Goldsmith adds this change will not affect the weather data that they produce. Live in the Channel 5 News studio, Steven Sarabia, Channel 5 News at 6.
And a note to Stephen's report, operations and workforce analysis that he mentioned will also allow the National Weather Service to be more active with first responders during severe weather events like a hurricane. In this Channel 5 News Extra, Barry Goldsmith says they will be able to post up with crews in order to provide accurate information as quick as possible. They say the reason NOAA decided to go this route was due to severe storm 6 years ago.
That came out of a big tornado outbreak in April of 2011 in the southeast states, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, where over 300 people died despite great warnings. So we started to figure out, well, what's going on here?
Goldsmith says if there were a hurricane to happen this season, they will be well prepared.